You know, most fighters, they don't get knocked out by the punch they see coming. No, they get dropped by what happens after it lands. Their neck gives out, their head snaps back, their brain rattles, and just like that, the fight is over. But what if you could build a defense system that stops that whole chain reaction before it even starts? Well, today, that stops. I'm giving you the exact routine that pros like Mike Tyson and Canelo Alvarez used to build their insane durability. And the best part? You don't need a single piece of equipment. Okay, so let's get right into it. Think about this. Every single fighter trains their hands, their footwork, their cardio. But almost nobody, and I mean nobody, trains the one muscle group that literally keeps them conscious. It's the most critical, yet somehow the most ignored piece of armor in the entire fight game. For years, we've all heard this term, right? The glass jaw. This idea that some fighters are just born without the ability to take a punch. But what if that's just a myth? The reality is, what we call a glass jaw is almost always just a weak neck. It was never about your chin, it's about what's holding it up. So, how does this whole thing actually work? I mean, this isn't just some gym bro theory. This is straight up physics. Your neck is literally the last line of defense between a punch and your brain. So let's break down exactly what happens in that split second of impact. Right, think of your neck like a high-performance shock absorber on a race car. When a punch lands, a strong, thick neck stabilizes your head, it soaks up that force, and it prevents that violent fight-ending whiplash. But a weak neck, it does the exact opposite. It's like a lever that transfers every single ounce of that force directly into your skull, causing your brain to rattle around. And we see this play out at the highest levels of the sport. I mean, remember when Dmitry Bivol fought Canelo Alvarez? Bivol took clean, powerful shots, and his head barely even moved. There was no snap, no wobble, and that gave Canelo zero opportunity to follow up. Bivol's neck strength literally neutralized one of the biggest punchers in the world. Look, that fight is all the proof you need. The difference between a fighter with an iron chin and one with the so-called glass jaw, more often than not, isn't some genetic lottery. It is trainable, buildable neck strength. Full stop. All right, enough of the science lesson. Let's get to the work. Let's build this thing. Here are 2 foundational exercises to build that pillar of muscle. No equipment, no excuses. Let's start with the first one. First up, lying neck swings. We're going to hit the neck from 3 different angles. So first, the front. Lie flat on your back, get your shoulders glued to the ground. Now, just tuck your chin to your chest and then lower it back down in a really controlled motion. You're going to do this for a full 60 seconds. And listen, this is the most important rule. Do not rest your head on the floor between reps. You've got to keep constant tension on the muscle for the entire minute. You should start to feel a burn within the first 10 seconds. That's good. That's how you know it's working. Okay, time for the sides. Roll onto your right side. Keep your body in a nice straight line and pin that right shoulder to the mat. Now, you're going to lift your head up towards your left shoulder, moving slowly and deliberately. No jerky movements. Yup, another 60 seconds of controlled reps. This lateral movement is so important. This is what builds the strength to absorb every hook and overhand right that gets thrown at your head. You're building stability against that twisting force, which, let's be honest, is where most knockouts come from. Okay, you know the drill. Flip over to your left side and repeat the exact same process for another minute. Same rules apply. Slow, controlled movement and keep that left shoulder pinned down. Don't rush it. By the end of these 3 minutes, your neck is going to feel heavy. It's going to feel pumped, maybe even like a brick. That is a good sign. Don't worry. That heaviness you're feeling, that's your muscle responding. It's armor being built in real time. All right, let's move on to exercise number 2, supported neck swings. Honestly, this is one of the most underrated drills in all of combat sports. It's way safer than a traditional wrestler's bridge, but just as effective. You're going to start on your knees, place your hands on the floor in front of you for support. Then, lean forward until the top of your head is just lightly touching the ground. Your hands are carrying the load here, your neck is doing the work. Okay, first movement is front to back. You're just going to slowly and smoothly roll your head from your forehead to the crown. Really focus on the quality of the motion, not the speed. Let's aim for 30 purposeful reps. Every single one counts. And the second you finish those 30 reps, I mean immediately, you're going to flow directly into side-to-side swings for another 30. Think ear towards your shoulder, then ear towards the other shoulder. Keep the movement seamless. We want to keep that muscle burn alive to get the most out of this. So once this starts to feel a little too easy, you're ready to advance.
You can up the resistance by coming up onto your feet into what's called a pike position. This adds more body weight, which means more resistance. But remember this, and it's important. Your hands always stay on the floor for support. Control here is absolutely non-negotiable. Aim for 2 complete sets of this whole sequence. No shortcuts.
Okay, you've got the exercises, but before you go try them, we have to talk about the most important part of all, doing them without getting hurt. The neck responds fast, but man, it can also break down fast if you disrespect it. And I'm serious, you really need to pay close attention here. You must listen to your body. If you feel any kind of sharp pain, you stop. If you feel any dizziness, you stop immediately. We are chasing a good muscle burn here. We are not chasing a spinal injury. You have to know the difference. So what's the game plan? Just aim for 2 to 3 sessions a week, probably after your main training. Look, you might feel a little stiff the next day. That's totally normal. Gently stretch it out, hydrate, and you'll come back stronger. That's all it takes. I want you to imagine this. 1 month from now, you're going to step into sparring, and something is just going to feel different. Those shots that used to wobble you, the ones that made your vision go a little blurry for a second, they just won't land the same. Your head's going to hold steady. Your brain will stay clear. And your opponent is going to wonder what the hell changed. What changed is that you stopped ignoring the single most important muscle in the fight game. It's a simple formula, but it is transformative. You build the neck to protect the brain, and when you protect the brain, you win more fights. So I'm going to leave you with this one thought. After a few weeks of this, you're in the ring. Your opponent lands their best shot, the one that's finished other fighters, and you just nod at them. What do you think is going through their mind in that exact moment? That's the edge you're building right now.